Thank you for joining us. It's Insights on Citizen FM 93.7. My name is Lawrence Umoette. It's 11 minutes past 10 and welcome to the program. For the better part of 2022, the Nigerian university education system suffered a setback that may be impossible to recover. Federal universities were shut for 8 months, while lecturers and officials of the Nigerian state bicker over a series of demands. What started as a 2-week industrial action on February 14th of that year dragged on till the second week of October of the same year. The lecturers eventually returned to the classroom courtesy of an order of the National Industrial Court. It's been over 3 months now, and the impasse has hardly been resolved. It's been like the piece of a graveyard. Recent events give an indication that another round of full-blown crisis may erupt again. But the glitz and the blitz of the election season seem to have put the event under the radar. Everyone is talking about the 2023 elections and who are the likely candidates in the different elections to win and what the candidates have. But a lot of people are not paying attention to that sector. A lot is brewing in that sector again. And on Insight, we think we should bring this to the fore. A fresh strike is looming in the public universities over alleged inability of the federal government to conclude renegotiations with the university-based unions. This came as SANU, that's the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, lamented that it had lost so many of its members to the failure of government to pay the 4 months withheld salaries during the strike period. Another round of crisis is brewing also in that sector, especially the Federal University, because as the FG moves to pay members of the Congress of University Academics, that's CONUA, their withheld salaries and check of dues. This has led to a lot of activities in that sector. On Insight today, we intend to do a retrospect. How did we get here? What were the parts played by the dramatist personnel during those wasted 8 months? Are we about to make the same mistake again? Let's go back in time and bring ourselves up to speed about what really happened and why we got to where we are, so that despite the election fever, we don't find ourselves in that situation again. That's going to be our focus on Insight today. And as usual, you can join our live stream on YouTube by typing in Citizen FM 93.7. And you can also listen to us online on www.citizenfm.ng. And you can also follow us on our social media platforms on Facebook at Citizen FM Abuja, on Instagram at Citizen FM 937, and also on Twitter at Citizen FM 937. So let's get cracking. First, let's listen to the Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, giving a background at the beginning of that infamous 8 months industrial action. Please don't go away.
This status of our engagement with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, who has embarked on what they call a warning strike that will last for 1 month. You will also recall that before then, the Inter-Religious Council of Nigeria, NIREC, led by the Sultan, Abubakar, Sultan of Sokoto, and the president of Christian Association of Nigeria, Reverend Dr. Samson Ayokule, had met with Mr. President on the 1st of February. After their submission, which was all aimed at averting the impending ASU strike, Mr. President mandated the Chief of Staff to the President, myself, Minister of Labor, and the Minister of Education and Minister of Finance to find a very urgent and quick solution to the issues mentioned and the complaints therein. And we started to do the necessary engagement. We did those engagements as proactive measures. So we, first of all, as a side meeting, I engaged the NIREC and gave them a little synopsis of what the issues were, and made it clear to them that the 20 December agreement with ASU was on course in terms of implementation. And thereafter they met ASU and discussed with them on the 3rd of February and asked ASU to be patient with them as they engage us. In labor parlance, that engagement is allowed. When you have two groups quarreling or disagreeing, especially in issues of conditions of service and thereabout or what have you, a third party can join the negotiation, and that is called bipartite plus. Or if it is like we did in the minimum wage, it becomes tripartite plus. So they agreed with the NIREC that they will have to give them some time. Of course, official duties took me out of the country to Botswana, and the Chief of Staff was also out. And then so we scheduled that we reconvene when we come back. So I was in transit when I heard that ASU had declared a strike for 30 days, 1 month. I had to come back, and when I came back, I invited them for a conciliation meeting with the employers on the government side, Ministry of Finance, Budget Office of the Federation, Ministry of Digital Communication and Digital Economy, who has supervisory role over NIDA, over the issue of University Transparency Accounting Solution called UTAS, which ASU said they had developed to replace IPs. So the areas where we don't have issues finalized completely is the issue of end allowances and revitalization. Otherwise, we have put timelines on most of the other things. The draft proposal they have with their employers, the Ministry of Education, we give them a timeline for it to be concluded, for their condition of service and wages and everything to be looked at. Yes, our university lecturers here deserve good pay. The worker is due his wages. So if we compare with what obtains in other climes and are not adequately remunerated, nothing stops government from within the lean resources that we have do some compensation raise and make them happy. So we are not opposed to that, but there's a process, like I explained to them. The process is that the committee, internal committee in Ministry of Education, headed by chair of pro-chancellors, will submit their report, and the report will be looked at by the officials of the ministry in conjunction with the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission, so that they make sure that none of the allowances so proposed runs counter to government extant fixtures. Say, example, if you are talking about per diem for university lecturers, you will not make it different or be above what is in the Eastern Circular. So these are the issues, and I'm hopeful that when we come back this afternoon, we will finalize most of the things. In between, the Students' Union or National Association of Nigerian Students have also, gotten into the affray and threatened to call out students on mass protests. We have, I held discussion with them even on Sunday when the security agents alerted me that they were in Abuja and said if I could offer some time. Yes, I did offer my time because in this my job, you don't get tired of talking or conciliating or negotiating. So we did, and we let them know what the true picture is, and they were satisfied. So they are there, and I learned they were in Ministry of Education yesterday. So it's a total, complete gamut, and a little bit of dissection to let you know that why I say that the 2020 December agreement we had with them is on course, and in terms of implementation, is that in that agreement there is a line that says that we pay, the federal government should pay 30 billion, no, 40 billion for revitalization. That money was paid. Another aspect of it said we should 40 billion for EAA and allowances for ASU and other unions. That has been paid, sorry. It's 40 billion. Then 30 billion was also budgeted to be paid for revitalization. That also was paid late last year. 22.127 billion was agreed also in that December agreement to be paid from supplementary budget as EAA and allowances for 2021. That money was also paid about November last year. It was put in the supplementary budget and passed around June, or thereabout, June, July, and it was remitted. So government have done that. UTAS, which they develop, have been subjected to tests by Nigeria Information Technology Development Agency, NIDA. And they ran tests, user acceptance tests, the one they call integrity tests and vulnerability tests. They pointed out in a letter, in a report to ASU, the areas of lapses in their solution, which will not make it usable as presently done, as presently configured. So ASU has written back to them to say that some of those observations were not correct. So the logical thing we have done is to agree that the two technical teams will meet. They have been working together before, but right now they will not meet and do those tests, which ASU says that their own is perfect. And neither say that they did not fulfill the requirement, they cannot stand in integrity or vulnerability, they should not retest. So again, we gave the committee about 4 weeks to come back to us. So we can see we are making progress in this respect.
Well, that was the Minister of Employment, Labor and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, at the beginning of that strike. And you had the end of that insert said they were making progress, and that was sometime in March. So it took 7 months later before the lecturers went back to the classroom. So that's just part one. 7 months after all the things he listed. That's why a lot of us are apprehensive of another long-drawn industrial action. And that's why we bring all this back to fore. Are we treading that road again? What is going to happen if nothing is done to resolve this on time? Because it looks as if the elections have taken over almost every aspect of our endeavors now. What do you think about it? What should we do? Because this time around, only God knows what will happen. And it's not just us, so all the other unions in the university are spoiling for it. You can call us and let's have your reactions. 0903 2229797. That's 0903 2229797. You can also call us on 0818 2222205. Or you can call us on 0808 2222037. You can also send us a WhatsApp message on any of these numbers. And don't forget that you can join us on our live stream on YouTube. Type in Citizen FM 937 and you will be part of the show. There's a message here on WhatsApp. It says, thank you so much, Citizen FM, for refreshing our memories on this. We pray that we don't go through this route again. Everyone involved should be ready to make some level of sacrifice, both the government and the teachers, and everyone should be circumspect in what to expect, so that at the end of the day, we are talking about the education sector. We hope that we don't destroy this nation, because it's the only nation we have. I agree with that. That's from Benga, who wrote in from Asokoro. Benga, I agree with you. This is the nation we have, and that's why on Citizen FM, we also intend to keep this on the front burner, even though it's election season. But this is another critical aspect of our life. Don't forget, you can call us on 0903 2229797, or you can also call us on 0818 2222205 or 0808 2222037. Another industrial action looming in the education sector. Or is it something we shouldn't worry about? But on Citizen FM, we don't take things for granted, because the last one that happened, it took 8 months before some form of resolution could be found. And even then, it was something that was temporary, as we have seen. So, during the course of that industrial action, we also had a spokesman of the president. He was on Insight, and I also took him up on this ASU FG face-off. And this is what they say. I'm talking about Alhaji Garbashew, who is a senior special assistant on the information to the president. Let's listen to what he said on the program.
No, absolutely. The government is absolutely worried, and nobody will be happy with this kind of situation. Students losing 6 to 7 months away from classroom, and as it is, some of them may never even make it back to the classroom because they have been lost. And academic careers for many may probably never continue. I think that the problem of labor dispute is, I mean, in a democratic society now, is our own, happens with all the sectors, whether health, education, maritime, aviation, and all of that. I think that of ASU has particularly been a very protracted one. From my own understanding, I think that the seeds of this problem were sown in 2009 when a government in office then signed an agreement without the sincerity of purpose, without meaning to implement. That agreement was beyond implementation by the administration, and the successive administration have inherited that agreement. Each time ASU rises to strike, it is to say implementation of 2009 agreement, implementation of 2009. As it is, President Muhammad Buhari, as did other leaders, also inherited this problem. Now, what he wants to do at this time is bring the problem to a permanent closure. Let's get a permanent solution to the problem.
Okay, so how is he going to do this?
Well, so that there is an enduring agreement reached with ASU. And in the view of government, one of the ways to doing this is, of course, giving them what they want, but also following in the law of the land, which says that when there is no work, there should be no pay. Okay. So that people who are going on strike will be conscious of. In the UK, for instance, if they call you out of strike, the union has made enough savings. They will pay workers from the savings that they have made. So, but in our own case, everybody has made a sacrifice in this long strike by us. Parents have suffered, students are still suffering.
And the lecturers are not paid too, so they are also suffering.
Yeah, but so therefore, that should also be the sacrifice they will be making, because the student who has lost 7 months of their academic study, tell me, how do they recover that? The parent who has waited, anxious to graduate their own children so that they will come and contribute to the family, haven't they also made losses? So everyone is a loser in this strike. And we hope that when the House of Reps meets the president, whichever way, the president will decide that this should be ended permanently, and that there will be permanent peace brought back to our academic institutions. As it is, you can see that this is a boom period now for private university and state universities. They can't cope with it. I just met one vice chancellor, Mariam Abacha University in Kano, new university with authorization. By last year, they were allowed to admit only 1,000 students. The vice chancellor has 25,000 applications. Who is he going to choose, and who is he going to drop out? Because.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
This is Citizen FM 93.7. Who is on the line,
Hello?
please? Hello, we can hear you. You're on air. Go
Hello?
ahead. Go on, please. We can hear you. Who is on the line, please? Oops, I think we lost that. Yeah.